In this lesson, I will explain the concept of changes in demand and supply. There are two types of changes. One is known as changes due to price, and second, changes due to shift factors. In demand and supply, we have different shift factors. Like in demand, shift factors are those assumptions which we assume that these factors will not change when the law of demand is being analyzed. And shift factor of supply are those factors which we assume that they will not change when we are studying law of supply. For example, shift factors of demand means no change in price of related commodities, goods and services. Income of consumer will not change. And number 3, the taste of the buyer. The shift factors in supply, that prices of raw material will not change. Technology will not change. Change in government policies, mean public policies, and so on. Actually, these are the factors. We can list more points here. These are the factors which can affect supply and demand other than the prices. First of all, let me explain the changes in demand and supply due to price. Suppose we have a demand curve and a supply curve. This is supply curve, and here I am going to draw the demand curve. So prices and quantity demanded and prices and quantity supplied. When we are discussing the changes in demand due to price, we must remember this point, that supply curve and demand curve will not change its position. It will remain at the same place where they are drawn originally. And any increase or decrease in demand, let's suppose we have a point A here and then there is another point B. So there is increase in demand or there is decrease in demand. When we are moving from point A to B, this is increase in demand, and when we are moving from point B to A, this is decrease in demand. This increase in demand and decrease in demand is not affecting the position of demand curve, and these changes are due to changes in price. Let's say we have Q1 P1 and Q2 P2. When price is P1, demand is Q1. When there is decrease in price level from P1 to P2, the quantity demanded increases. So this is called changes in demand due to price. Similar changes we can study in case of supply curve. Suppose price is P1, then quantity supply is Q1. When price is P2, quantity supply is Q2. If this is point A and this is point B. So we can notice that when we move from point A to B, there is increase in price level, and due to this increase in price level, there is increase in quantity supply because of the law of supply. Whenever there is decrease in price level, when we move from point B to A, there is decrease in price level, so as decrease in quantity supplied. So these changes in quantity supplied and quantity demand are due to change in price level, and we call it changes due to price level, or extension or contraction in demand or supply, or increase and decrease in demand and supply. The other types of changes are changes due to shift factors. Shift factors mean these factors, they are going to shift the position of demand curve and supply curve. First of all, we draw both curves, demand and supply, at their initial positions. This is S and this is D. So prices and quantity demanded, prices and quantity supplied. This is S1 and this is D1. Now we assume that price level in market is P1. When price is P1, quantity demanded is Q1. For example, price is 3 and quantity demanded is 6. And when price is 3, quantity supply is Q1, suppose it is 6. If there is any change in the prices of related goods or income of the consumer or people preference change due to advertisement or any other information or any other factor, increase in population, suppose income of the consumer has increased. Now due to higher income, buyer is capable to buy more commodities. Let's say instead of 6, he is now buying 8 goods. And this increase in demand is not due to any change in prices. It is not due to decrease in price level. Rather, it is due to increase in income of the consumer, because increase in income is allowing buyer to buy more commodities at the same price level. So when shift factors are in operations, the whole demand curve will shift to another location. If it is moving towards right, we call it increase or rise in demand, and if it is moving towards left, we call it decrease or fall in demand. So this is our D2 level, and we noted that this is called, this change in demand, shift in demand, is due to shift factors. And at the same time, we can draw another curve here. This is decrease in demand due to shift factors. Similar situation can be emerged on the supply. The shift factors of supply curve, if they are causing the effect and they are not assumed to be constant, and we are including their effect in our model, then the supply curve may shift towards left or towards right, from S1 to S2 or S3. These movements are known as the changes in demand and supply. These movements are known as shift in demand and supply. Whereas in this case, there is no shift in supply curve or in demand curve, because this is due to these changes are due to prices. So change in price will allow the movement along the demand curve or along the supply curve, whereas changes in shift factors will bring the change, will shift the entire demand curve and supply curve towards right side or towards left side. To understand the two types of changes in demand and supply, let me use another example. Suppose a balloon is hanging over a wall. In the daytime, the volume of balloon increases, it expands, and in the night it contracts. So this is one type of change in the size of balloon, and this is called expansion and contraction. The second case is that balloon is leaving its place upward or downward. If we release this thread, it will move upward, and if we pull this thread, it will go down. So in this case, the balloon is leaving its place. Similar changes we have seen in case of demand and supply. This is called expansion and contraction in demand, where demand curve is not leaving its place, and this change is due to price. This is expansion and contraction in supply. Again, this is due to change in price, and supply curve is not leaving its place. Second type of change is rise and fall in demand. This is due to shift factors, and in this case, demand curve is leaving its place. This is called rise because it is moving towards right side, and in this case, it is fall because it is moving towards left side. Here we can see that supply curve is leaving its place, it is moving towards right, so this is rise in supply, and this is fall in supply. So that's all in this lesson. Thank you very much.